All right, all right, all right. Coming to you today with a new type of live stream. It's called Gee's Book of the Month, and the reason why I felt it necessary to do this live stream is because a lot of people ask me, what does it mean to be an activist? What does it take to be an activist? And I always tell them it's two major steps to being an activist. One, you have to be knowledgeable, and two, you have to be boots on the ground. When I say boots on the ground, meaning that you have to get out to the people, you have to actually be out gaining experience. You learn as you go, but being knowledgeable. What I mean by that is you have to do your research, you have to do your homework, and no better way to do homework is to find educational books. Educational books has always been the key to knowledge. From school, from self knowledge, they had a saying, what most of Fruit of Islam Muslim brothers say: if you want to hide something from us as black people, put it in a book. That is true. I mean, I find so much information, so much knowledge just going out reading books on just different interesting topics. Every time I come across a case when I'm dealing with people, I pick up a book. I mean, it can be a psychology book, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be political science, uh, basic mathematics. I mean, all kind of stuff. The human body. You know, dealing with volunteer activism, especially for us as Black people, it's so many different fields and stuff that have to be knowledgeable and have to be educated on. So, and I have my own personal library too. I'm gonna say that I have a library card. That's one of the most important cards in my wallet is my library card. I hold that with high self-esteem. I mean, every so often I go get it renewed. You know what I'm saying? I stay up on my library card, but I also have a personal library, and where I get my books at is like local thrift stores. Local thrift stores, they donate books. They donate like college grade books, like all those books that university colleges use. What they do at the end of a period, they would just donate them. That's like tax write off, and they would donate these books, and they be in mint condition. Some of them never been used, and they be at your local Goodwill, your local thrift stores, and you can get it for like $2-3. I mean, $100 book over $200 books, $2 and $3, and that's what I do. That's how I built my library up, going to the thrift store, getting those books that were donated, by universities and colleges. Okay, the book of the month that I have chosen is a book of poetry. And I know you may say, well, how is that really, in the line with an educational book? Um, this sister who wrote this book, Tamara Dion, I met her back in the days. She from Allen Temple. I lived at Allen Temple, but I didn't meet her in Allen. So I met her actually in middle school in eighth grade, at Bunch Middle School, and she always was about her poetry. She kept a book with her, a book of poems. One of the rare things, from our side of town that a person does, especially as a child, have a book of poems. But the sister always been about her poetry, her writings, and she released a book. It's on Amazon. You can go to Amazon and get a book, Pain and Pleasure by Tamara Dion. Uh, I bought the book just because I know her. You know what I'm saying? When no other reason, like I know her, I'm supporting my folk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get this book, and I got it, and I opened it up. I read probably like three poems out the book, and it was good. I done seen her writing. She always posting on social media. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? So, she got skills. Of course, you're gonna have skills. You've been writing that long, so you're gonna have some serious skills. But not even just the penmanship, and not just the skills of her lyrics. You can feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's educational. Like, it helps you understand the mind of the woman. That's big for us as men, because a lot of us, we don't know what women be thinking, how they be feeling. We just plain and simple. It's cut and dry. Hey, tell them what it is, fam. You know what I'm saying? What's your problem is, shut. And that's how we play it. But this book, I'm reading the book, right? I get back into the book, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, look, this book really gave me some insight. You know what I'm saying? It's like really schooling me. So I said, man, I had to. I'm gonna tell you, I'm reading the book. I come across a poem in the book. I had to actually, I had to actually call up one of my people, man, one of the females that I know, and and say, man, I get it now. And me and this young lady, we haven't dealt with each other. This sister, man, we ain't dealt with each other probably about a good 5, 6 years. But I had to call her up just to say, you know what, I finally understand what was going on with you. We, broke up or whatever. Kid, just by reading this book, it gave us some insight, and I broke it down to her. And she was like, nigga, it took you 5 or 6 years to get that. And I told her about the book. I said, man, you got to download this book. I said, this sister on point. So she didn't download it then. So I just took a screenshot of the poem that I read that made me, kind of understand her a little more better. You know what I'm saying? Period. I really don't understand women at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm playing it simple. Like, hey, you tell me what you want, what your problem is, what I did, and we'll talk it out. We'll work. I ain't no mind reader, you know what I'm saying? So I sent her the poem, and she said, man, this sister got skills, And that's how me and her started back talking through this book. You know what I'm saying? Through these poems and stuff. That's how me and her started back. And we ain't, no relationship now, but even to build that bond back, that friendship, you know what I'm saying? Cause you like, when I cut a person, I just cut them off, keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? But I had to call this young lady back, this sister back, cause I seen that, I finally could understand. Cause for years it confused me. You know what I'm saying? I went stuck on it, but it confused me. Like, dang, why could kicking like that? You know what I'm saying? I was just acting like that. But let me show you the poem too that what kicked it out. This one right here is Cold Blooded. This the poem that kicked it off for me and kind of made me understand. Cause like I said, the sister, she cutthroat, but she got feelings too, and you know how you see somebody, you be like, man, this sister here just heartless, emotionally. All she about is this or that. Not realizing everybody, what I'm saying, got feelings somewhere. Even if buried deep down, they got feelings. So this with this reading this poem and stuff made me have to go back and say, even though she a cutthroat, and even though she live like she live, you know what I'm saying, she's still human, and she's still a woman. You know what I mean? Women have different layers, so that would show me something too. Like, women have different degrees. This book really educated me on that. So it made it educate me in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, how we think. Uh, like I said, psychology and learning mathematics or science, but it's a science to it. Even in this poetry, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it helps you to understand. It helped me to understand like the science of the woman's emotions and the feelings. Cause man, Tamara, she put it all on the line on this book. You know what I'm saying? Like she allow herself to be opened up, which rarely people do. Even especially when you are artist. You know what I'm saying? Like this today's artist. Like it's a propaganda to it. Gender. Like a woman might be writing this. It might be all feminist. You know what I'm saying? Material. It don't be real. You know what I'm saying? But Tamara, like in this, if you read these poems, you don't see no agenda. You just see like real emotions of the artist. You can respect her, like, and really get a visual of what she was feeling at the time when she wrote these poems. And they're not all one way. They're not all in one direction. You see what I'm saying? Like old school. Like if you listen to Tupac, a person who listens to Tupac today may say Tupac contradicted himself. But it when Tupac contradicted himself, it was the fact that Tupac had different layers. You know what I'm saying? Different degrees. As humans do, we ain't all just one way. Even if you raised up in the street, you still got some love, you know what I'm saying, for your family, for your friend, for your woman. You ain't everything gonna be the same. Everything gonna be gangster. Everything ain't gonna be pimping and hardcore all the time. You're gonna have time, for your children. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have different emotions and different layers. And that's what a real artist does. A real artist shares those different layers with the people. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, we are human, and make you feel comfortable enough to have those feelings. That's what a lot of problem we have with music today. Everybody, if you listen to rap now, like mostly everybody they one way. They all gangsters. They all dope boys. They all, the females are all heartless whores who making money, selling their body and all this, selling sex. But it ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Cause them folk got emotions. Like back in the day, if you listen to an artist, they gave you that. They gave you the different degrees, the different levels of them. You know what I'm saying? You can basically understand, get a visual of their lyrics or what they were going through at the time. You know what I'm saying? You can relate to it. Like, man, I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get where they were coming from. They said they remind me of a certain time. They take you back to a certain memory. So yeah, I just wanted to I want y'all to go out and get this book. I want y'all to really check this book out. And we're gonna talk about this book, and hopefully we can get an interview with Tamara, you know what I'm saying, Sister Tam. And with she, because she's a hard worker, she take care of kids. She's a very serious mother, you know what I'm saying, like a parent. She owned it. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's a job within itself. But she also, work and do her thing too, so hopefully we can get an interview with her and let her explain. Because like I said, I hate explaining things for other people. I can only tell you how I feel about something. But it'll be great to get that insight to see how she felt when she wrote certain poems, And I don't want to get a whole book away, so I'm only gonna show one poem, you know what I'm saying? And I'll show it again, let y'all see it again, this poem. Because I don't want to give it away. I want you all to go out and purchase this from Amazon, purchase this book, Pain and Pleasure. And we could chop it up. We're gonna feature this, like, I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday. So for this month, for the next 4 weeks, 4 Sundays, I'm gonna talk about this book. And then after that, we'll go on to another book. You know what I'm saying? That's in my library. And I give you the importance of that book. So I really want y'all to go out and get this book, man. I'm telling you, man. This cold-blooded though. This is it for me. This what I'm telling you, open me up. I had to go back and call this woman, man. I said, and I don't do that. I don't like to backtrack. Even if I'm wrong, I don't like to backtrack. You know what I'm saying? But that's how serious it impacted me when I had read it. I was like, and then not only just this poem, I read this one, and that's what jumped it off. But it's other poems in that go along with this, and it made me really understand. You know what I'm saying? Like what the woman, how the woman mind works. Like all these years, I'm 40 years old. I never had any kind of insight to how the woman mind works. You know what I'm saying? I be honest, I never really cared, but I'm telling you, this had a great impact on me, this book. So it was only right that I use this book to be the first book that I do on the Activist League's book of the month. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Go out and get the book. Let me know how you feel about it. And we're going to keep it going, So next week I'll come back and we'll talk about it. We'll chop it up some more. All right, y'all have a good one.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing your beginning result with someone's end result. You don't know people's struggles. You don't know people's insecurities. You don't know people's hard days. All you see is their end result, and you think that you're not doing enough. You think if you don't get a lot of likes, you're not pretty, you're not beautiful, you're not successful. Do not let that shit validate you. Trust God, trust yourself, keep putting in the work, and you will eventually see the fruits of your labor. You motivate people that you don't even know yet. Somebody looking at you that you don't know, waiting for you to win, waiting for you to put in your 100% so you can prosper, so you can grow. You can have everything you want in this life. One thing about me, right, wrong, indifferent, all them L's on took, don't matter. I do what I want to do. I do what's best for me. You can't give a fuck what it look like to everybody else, man. It ain't their story. If they ain't contributing to your life, if they ain't paying your bills, then don't put so much thought into their opinions. Where you fuck up at?